Growing up amid the chaos of her early life, Ginger Rogers, born Virginia Catherine McMath, found herself living through more upheaval than most. After her parents' brief and troubled marriage, her father, William McMath, became known for instability, repeatedly kidnapping Ginger during custody disputes, creating lasting emotional scars. Meanwhile, her mother, Leila Owens McMath, displayed unwavering strength and resolve. Determined to forge a better future, Leila left her marriage behind, moving first to Texas and later to Los Angeles, where she became a Hollywood scriptwriter and story editor. Facing an industry that seldom welcomed women in such roles, she broke boundaries, supporting Ginger's pursuit of a dance career while protecting her from the darker sides of fame. Their relationship, built on fierce loyalty, saw Leila guiding Ginger through the treacherous landscape of Hollywood. It was during this time that Ginger Rogers ended up married to her co-star's cousin's boyfriend, stirring scandal and gossip that cast a shadow over her rising star. It became clear that old Hollywood was no place for love that didn't follow its strict rules or fit into its complex web of relationships, where loyalty and betrayal danced hand in hand. From an early age, Ginger Rogers demonstrated a natural talent for dance and entertainment that set her apart from others. Even when she was just a young girl, she had a remarkable ability to light up a room with her presence. Her innate sense of rhythm, musicality, and expressive face made her stand out even then. When she was only 14 years old, she entered a Charleston dance contest, a dance that was the most popular craze of the Roaring Twenties, and she won easily. This victory was a turning point in her life, giving her confidence and recognition at a young age, and opening the door to her future in entertainment. Shortly afterward, Ginger joined the vaudeville circuit, a lively and competitive form of entertainment that traveled across the country. She became part of Eddie Foy's traveling troupe, performing on the Orpheum Circuit, which was one of the most famous vaudeville networks in the United States. These performances helped her develop her timing, stage presence, and ability to adapt to different situations. Performing live night after night, she learned how to handle everything from unruly audiences to costume mishaps, experiences that later proved invaluable when she transitioned to working in films. Her success in vaudeville brought her to Broadway stages, where she starred in shows like Top Speed and Girl Crazy. During her time on Broadway, she introduced the song Embraceable You, written by George and Ira Gershwin, which showcased her talent not just as a dancer but also as a performer who could sing and act. Her unique combination of comedic timing, stunning beauty, and graceful movement attracted the attention of major film studios. By her early 20s, Ginger had already made a successful leap into movies. She brought with her the maturity and sharpness of someone who had worked hard and learned from real stage experience, along with a natural charisma that made her unforgettable. Long before she became famous as Fred Astaire's legendary dance partner, Ginger Rogers had already established herself as a confident, talented, and radiant entertainer, laying the foundation for her future success in Hollywood. While working in Hollywood, an industry filled with excess and temptations, Ginger Rogers always chose to live by her principles. She believed strongly in her faith, which was Christian Science, a religion she turned to after a life-changing event. When her stepfather became very ill, Ginger prayed for his recovery and found comfort in the teachings of Mary Baker Eddy. She saw his healing as divine intervention, and that experience made her more committed to her spiritual beliefs. These beliefs became a big part of her life. She avoided drinking alcohol, smoking, and staying out late at night. Instead, she practiced prayer, meditation, and quiet reflection to stay centered. Her faith taught her that the mind has the power to affect the body, so she worked hard to keep her thoughts positive and her spirit strong. This mental discipline helped her stay healthy and clear-minded, even when Hollywood was chaotic and full of morally murky choices. Ginger believed that success should not come at the expense of her own morals and integrity. Her spiritual life kept her grounded, guiding her through the challenges of fame and helping her stick to her values, no matter what others around her might have done or believed. After considering her reputation, Ginger Rogers was widely admired for her glowing skin, trim figure, and timeless elegance, a beauty that seemed to radiate from within. Unlike many of her Hollywood peers who relied on heavy makeup, cosmetic procedures, or fad diets, Ginger took a more holistic and self-reliant approach. Her philosophy centered on moderation, inner peace, and self-respect. She believed strongly that beauty was a reflection of one's mental and emotional state, often saying that positivity, gratitude, and serenity were more powerful than any cream or cosmetic. Her daily routine involves swimming, tennis, and plenty of time outdoors, as she loved fresh air and physical activity. Even during demanding film shoots, she kept her schedule disciplined, never neglecting her wellness practices. Ginger also followed an unconventional diet that famously included a large amount of parsley, a choice she attributed to its cleansing and energizing properties. She drank plenty of water, avoided sugar, and embraced natural foods long before such practices became popular. To her, aging was not something to fear or battle, but to be embraced with dignity. She refused to obsess over wrinkles or the passage of time, believing instead that grace and spirit were the truest signs of youth. In interviews, she often urged young women to prioritize mental health, kindness, and spiritual fulfillment over fleeting physical trends. Her lifestyle choices were more than habits. They reflected her deeper values and her lifelong pursuit of balance and grace. Despite her young age, Ginger Rogers made a bold choice when she married Jack Pepper at just 17 years old. Jack Pepper was a well-known vaudeville performer admired for his youthful charm and stage presence. Many people outside their inner circle were shocked by the marriage because Ginger was so young, and Pepper had previously been romantically linked to Ginger's cousin. This overlap of relationships made the marriage seem even more scandalous, especially among the close-knit Texas and early showbiz communities where gossip spread quickly. Surprisingly, her mother Leela supported the marriage. Leela was deeply involved in Ginger's career, and she likely saw marrying Jack as a good move that could help Ginger get more industry opportunities. It appeared to be a calculated decision, blending family loyalty and career strategy to boost Ginger's future in show business. However, the marriage faced challenges as both Ginger and Jack sought to grow their careers. Their relationship did not last long, and they divorced in 1931 after only a few years together. Despite ending their marriage, they remained friendly, avoiding public fights or bitter words, which was uncommon in show business at that time. Ginger's ability to stay calm and graceful through personal difficulties helped build her reputation as a mature woman who managed her private life with dignity and class far beyond her years. After her brief and turbulent marriage, Ginger Rogers threw herself into her work with a passion that brought her remarkable success. She had already honed her talents on the vaudeville stage, and now on Broadway, her performances began to draw serious attention. Her role in Top Speed showed her potential, but her true breakthrough came when she starred in George and Ira Gershwin's Girl Crazy. There, she introduced the song Embraceable You, which became an instant classic. Audiences loved her mix of comedic timing and vulnerability that made her performances unique. Hollywood soon took notice of her rising star. Ginger signed short-term contracts with major studios like Paramount, Warner Brothers, and Fox. These contracts were a smart move that allowed her to work with the best directors and not be tied down to any one studio. Her decision to be selective paid off. She stole scenes as Anytime Annie in 42nd Street in 1933, playing a confident chorus girl full of grit and humor. This role captured the spirit of America during the Great Depression. She also shined in Gold Diggers of 1933, especially with her song We're in the Money, which she sang partly in Pig Latin and became a hit across the country. These performances proved her range. She could be glamorous, funny, soulful, and clever all at once. Ginger Rogers' rise wasn't just about her looks or dance skills. It was about her talent, her professionalism, and her knack for picking roles that reflected the mood of the times. In only a few years, she went from a young girl in vaudeville to one of the most popular and respected stars in Hollywood. Following their memorable debut in 1933 with Flying Down to Rio, Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire quickly became a sensation in Hollywood, transforming the way audiences saw dance on screen. Although they weren't the main leads in that film, their brief dance performance captivated viewers and set the stage for what would become one of the most legendary partnerships in film history. Recognizing their incredible chemistry, the studio, RKO, paired them again and again over the next 6 years. During this time, they made 9 musicals that would forever influence the world of dance and movies. Movies like Top Hat, Swing Time, and Shall We Dance showcase their extraordinary talent, blending technical skill with emotional depth. Every step they took was full of meaning, creating routines that told stories and expressed feelings such as hope, happiness, conflict, and resolution. Their dancing was not just impressively precise, but also filled with emotion, turning choreography into a way to tell a story rather than just entertain. Despite many rumors about their relationship outside the screen, neither Ginger nor Fred ever discussed their personal lives publicly, which added an air of mystery to their partnership. Gossip about rivalry, jealousy, or romance circulated, but the true connection was based on mutual respect and admiration. Their collaboration changed how dance was used in movies, elevating it from simple entertainment to a vital part of storytelling. Fred later said that Ginger was not just a talented dancer who could keep up with him, but an equal partner who brought soul and depth to each performance. Their work remains a shining example of how dance can express human emotions and deepen the story told on screen. Since her collaboration with Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers has built a legacy that reflects her remarkable performance skills and her influence on film and dance history. Fred Astaire, known for his strict standards and perfectionist attitude, often praised Ginger not only for her dancing talent, but also for her discipline, endurance, and dramatic instincts. He openly credited her with giving him confidence and making challenging routines appear effortless. While Astaire was celebrated as a technician, Ginger was recognized as the emotional core of their performances. She had the rare ability to dance with feeling, making it seem as though her character's heart was breaking or soaring through each move. Despite dancing in high heels, with intricate costumes, and on polished floors, she performed routines that matched Fred's in complexity and rigor, often doing the same routines backward and in heels without complaint. She spent hours rehearsing, often ending the day bruised and exhausted, yet remained poised, focused, and uncomplaining, earning the respect of critics and fans alike. People saw her as more than a dance partner. She was a full-bodied actress who used her acting skills to add depth and meaning to her movements. In scenes where most stars would simply wait for cues, Ginger was always lively, reacting, emoting, and listening, which helped every scene feel natural and spontaneous. Her timing, her improvisational skills, and her talent for playing both comedic and dramatic roles made her stand out. Gradually, the industry began to see her not just as Astaire's partner, but as a talented actress and performer who could lead a film, carry a scene, and hold the audience's attention without even needing to dance. Her performance legacy is rooted in her ability to blend acting and dancing seamlessly, leaving an enduring mark on Hollywood's golden age. After her collaborations with Fred Astaire ended, many people doubted Ginger Rogers could succeed on her own, but she quickly proved them wrong. Her acting career took off, and she began to take on different kinds of roles that showed her real talent and deep feelings. In the movie Stage Door, made in 1937, she worked alongside famous stars like Katharine Hepburn and Lucille Ball and managed to stand out with a powerful and emotional performance. Then, in 1940, she played a woman caught in a love triangle in the movie Kitty Foyle. This role was very special because Ginger showed a wide range of feelings, strength, and vulnerability, which earned her the Oscar for Best Actress. This Oscar made it clear she was not just a musical star, but also a serious actress with real depth. She continued her success in comedy movies, like Bachelor Mother in 1939, where her timing and relatable character made audiences laugh and connect with her. She also starred with Cary Grant and Marilyn Monroe in Monkey Business in 1952, showing she hadn't lost her comedic talent. Her career after working with Astaire was full of diverse roles that broke stereotypes, portraying women as complex, smart, and funny. By the early 1940s, Ginger was the highest-paid actress in Hollywood, a rare achievement for a woman at that time, especially without any scandal involved. While many stars faded away after their biggest hits, Ginger kept her fame by always changing and growing. She balanced her glamorous image with real, honest emotion, making her a beloved and respected actress for years to come. From the start, Leela Owens McMath was much more than a typical mother to Ginger Rogers. She served as a partner, protector, and guiding light throughout Ginger's entire life and career. As a woman working in male-dominated fields such as journalism and screenwriting, Leela broke barriers that many others only dreamed of crossing. Her experience in these fields gave her a unique perspective on the entertainment industry, which she used to Ginger's advantage. She managed her daughter's contracts, negotiated fair pay, and kept her away from exploitative situations that unfortunately affected many young women in Hollywood. This careful guidance helped Ginger build a solid foundation in her career, ensuring she could focus on her craft rather than falling into industry traps. Their bond was strong, even as Ginger rose to superstardom, showing a relationship based on mutual respect and deep trust. Together, they created the Hollywood Playhouse, a theater where both could explore their love for the arts and support each other creatively. Their partnership didn't stop at theater. They also co-authored a children's mystery novel, blending their literary talents into a project that showcased their shared bond and creativity. Some people saw Leela's involvement as overbearing, but Ginger always credited her mother with shaping her values, protecting her, and helping her navigate Hollywood's many pitfalls. Their relationship stood out as one of the rare mother-daughter partnerships that survived the pressures of fame, wealth, and the scrutiny of the public eye. Leela's influence went beyond managing Ginger's career. She helped craft a legacy rooted in excellence, ethics, and lasting impact that endures even today. From the moment Ginger Rogers became involved with Howard Hughes, her love life took on a new layer of complexity and intrigue. Hughes, known for his enormous wealth, ambitious projects, and eccentric personality, was captivated by Ginger's natural beauty, her grace, and her independence. Her charm and strength set her apart from the many women he had pursued before. Their relationship initially appeared like a fairy tale, with Hughes showering her with luxurious gifts and lavish attention. He would fly across the country just to see her, and he often planned private dinners that felt like moments from a dream. For a time, Ginger enjoyed the feeling of being cherished by such a powerful and wealthy man. However, as their relationship deepened, shadows began to form beneath the surface. Hughes' love shifted from adoration to obsession, driven by insecurities and a need to control everything about Ginger. He hired private investigators, tapped her phone, and tried to decide who she could see or talk to. His paranoia grew, turning what once seemed like love into a watchfulness that put immense pressure on Ginger. Despite this, she showed loyalty and empathy, standing by him during difficult times, including his serious plane crash in 1946. She visited him often in the hospital, offering comfort as he recovered from injuries. Yet it was in that hospital, surrounded by the sterile walls and the whispers of Hughes's inner circle, that Ginger made her heartbreaking decision to end their engagement. She realized that no matter the wealth or the fame Hughes provided, their relationship lacked the emotional safety she needed to feel secure. Her values of independence, authenticity, and integrity guided her decision, and she understood that staying would mean sacrificing the core of who she was. In walking away, Ginger chose her dignity and her independence over a life shadowed by obsession and control, a testament to her resilience in the face of turbulent love. After Ginger Rogers ended her relationship with Howard Hughes, it marked a moment of true courage in her life. Hughes, who was famous for his wealth and eccentric ways, had once expected Ginger to stay by his side as his emotional support after a serious car accident that left him hospitalized. At first, she did stand by him, helping him through his recovery and providing comfort. However, over time, Hughes' controlling nature became more intense. Even while lying in bed, he tried to control her actions, keep her under watch, and manipulate her life in subtle or overt ways. Ginger realized that staying would mean giving up her freedom and her principles. This understanding led her to make a bold choice. She returned the large, beautiful engagement ring he had given her, and also handed back the many luxurious gifts he had showered her with, including rare gems, bracelets, and pendants worth small fortunes. She did not do this out of spite, but because she believed love should never be based on possession or control. Ginger stood firm in her values, saying she would not be bought or kept by money or status, even if it came from the richest man in the world. Her decision surprised many, even those close to Hughes, who was deeply affected emotionally. After she left, Hughes withdrew further into his reclusive lifestyle, and his mental health seemed to suffer more. Despite all this, Ginger never spoke badly of Hughes in interviews later on. Instead, she made it clear that she would never allow herself to be imprisoned by anyone's obsession or need for control. Her choice reflected her strength and independence, prioritizing self-respect over fame or material wealth, no matter how tempting or dazzling those might be. After many upheavals in her personal life, Ginger Rogers chose to make a fresh start by seeking a simpler and more peaceful existence. She stepped away from the chaos of Hollywood and the complicated relationships that had caused her emotional distress, making a conscious decision to find serenity. In the 1940s, Ginger bought a large ranch in Medford, Oregon, a place far from the bright lights and constant noise of the film industry. There, she could enjoy the beauty of nature and spend time with her beloved animals, embracing a slower way of life built on purpose and calm. Despite her quiet new surroundings, Ginger's career did not slow down. She kept working in films and theater, showing that she could enjoy a peaceful life while still doing what she loved with professionalism and grace. During this time, she married actor Jack Briggs, a man who served in the military and provided her with emotional stability. Although their marriage eventually ended, Ginger's desire for a genuine connection never waned. Later, she married Jacques Bergerac, a young French law student she met in France. She supported him emotionally and helped him pursue his acting ambitions, introducing him to agents and giving him guidance in America's entertainment world. Their marriage also ended in divorce, but Ginger's efforts reflected her deep desire for love, companionship, and shared growth. Her life was marked by repeated attempts to find lasting relationships, filled with hope and openness, even when setbacks caused pain. Her journey showed that she believed in love and kept trying, never giving up on finding happiness and connection. Throughout her later years, Ginger Rogers remained as fiercely private and principled as ever, holding tightly to her beliefs and her sense of self. Her unwavering faith in Christian Science shaped her life and gave her strength and serenity in both good times and bad. This spiritual belief system rejects traditional medicine and emphasizes prayer and spiritual healing as the primary ways to overcome illness. For Ginger, this faith was more than a belief. It was a guiding force that provided comfort and peace throughout her life. However, as she aged and her health began to decline, her reliance on spiritual healing became increasingly complicated. She was diagnosed with diabetes, a condition that required insulin and medical treatment to manage. Yet, Ginger refused these treatments, choosing instead to focus solely on prayer and spiritual practice, believing in the power of her faith to heal her. This decision worried her friends and family, who saw her health worsening as the untreated diabetes led to complications. She experienced symptoms like fatigue, weight loss, and periods of weakness, but she always appeared brave and composed in public. She still attended events, gave interviews, and kept in touch with fans, never revealing any pain or fear she might have felt inside. In her final years, her condition worsened significantly, and she faced health crises that made her suffering more evident. Nevertheless, she maintained her dignity and remained true to her convictions until her death. At the age of 83 in 1995, Ginger Rogers died, reportedly from complications related to diabetes, possibly a diabetic coma. Her passing marked the close of an extraordinary life filled with artistry, discipline, and unshakable resolve. Despite her death, her legacy endures through her dance, her movies, and the example she set of living authentically. Her refusal to compromise her values, even in the face of health challenges, demonstrated her strength and resolve. Ginger Rogers danced her entire life, loved passionately, believed deeply, and refused to let the world change who she was at her core. As she aged, Ginger Rogers did not simply fade away into obscurity like some of her contemporaries. Instead, she kept evolving and remained an active part of the entertainment world well into her 70s. She made guest appearances on television up until 1987, never losing her radiant charm or quick wit, qualities that made her a beloved figure for generations. Her return to Broadway in the musical Hello, Dolly, Dolly! Was met with great enthusiasm, showing that even after many years in film and dance, she still possessed the stage presence and charisma necessary to captivate a live audience. In 1991, Ginger published her autobiography called Ginger, My Story, offering fans a rare glimpse behind the scenes of her life. She shared stories from her sparkling dance routines and the personal challenges she faced with love, loss, and her commitment to her beliefs. The following year, she received the Kennedy Center Honor, one of the highest awards in American performing arts, acknowledging her immense contributions to film, dance, and theater. Throughout her career, Ginger appeared in a total of 73 films, which included musicals, comedies, and serious dramas. Her name was permanently etched into cinematic history when she was ranked number 14 on the American Film Institute's list of the greatest female screen legends of Hollywood's classic era. More than her talent, Ginger was remembered for her remarkable resilience, her quiet dignity, and her ability to succeed in an industry that often tried to restrict women's roles. She aged gracefully, spoke humbly, and moved through the changing landscape of Hollywood with her head held high. From her early days in Hollywood, Ginger Rogers became more than just a talented performer. She became a symbol of strength and resilience during the golden age of cinema. She broke away from the usual image of actresses being only beautiful and passing through their prime, proving that substance and character mattered just as much. Her partnership with Fred Astaire transformed the world of dance, blending storytelling with movement in a way that made routines feel like part of the story itself. Seamlessly marrying grace and narrative, her work elevated dance to an art form that could drive the plot forward and convey emotion, making her performances timeless. Off the dance floor, Ginger took on roles that challenged stereotypes. She portrayed women who were smart, ambitious, funny, and emotionally layered, showing vulnerability, but also strength and independence. She refused to be boxed into simple character types, and always brought depth to her portrayals, making her relatable and inspiring. Despite her fame and glamour, she stayed true to her beliefs, living a clean and disciplined life guided by her faith in Christian Science. Her moral stance and refusal to indulge in scandals set her apart in an industry notorious for its scandals and fleeting fame. Her famous quote about doing everything Fred Astaire did but backwards and in heels serves as a reminder of her underestimated talent and her ability to face challenges with poise. More than her dance skills, it reflected her quiet defiance of societal expectations and her ability to perform with elegance under pressure. Ginger Rogers' legacy endures because of her achievements, her integrity, and the example she set for countless women and performers who came after her. Despite the twists and turns of Ginger Rogers' life, her story reveals the harsh reality of Hollywood's tangled web of relationships, where love often got lost amid scandal and betrayal. Marrying her co-star's cousin's boyfriend was just another example of how the glitz and glamour hid a darker truth. Passion was often secondary to rumors, reputation, and power plays. Ginger's own journey, shaped by a childhood filled with chaos, and her mother's resilience, shows that love in Hollywood was rarely straightforward. Instead, it was a place where loyalty could be easily broken, and friendships could dissolve into jealousy. Her marriage, entangled in gossip and societal expectations, echoes how difficult it was for anyone to truly find genuine love within that system. Yet, through all the drama, Ginger managed to build a lasting career and a life that reflected her strength and independence. Her story reminds us that behind every glamorous image, there are stories of struggle, sacrifice, and quiet resilience. The complexities of old Hollywood continue to fascinate, showing us that even stars had to navigate a maze of loyalty and betrayal just to hold on to the love they sought.